You're here because for a reason. What that reason is, everyone has a different reason for being here, right? Who here wants to just learn how to make some more money? Who here wants to learn how to drive more traffic to their website? Who wants to learn how to do that? All right. Who here wants to learn how to pick up the opposite sex? I can't help you there, sorry. I'm just full disclosure, right? Full disclosure, I do not know how to pick up chicks. Who here remembered cramming for college? Anyone remember that? Yeah? Yeah? Well, I mean, was it really beneficial? Let's think about this. But did it achieve a goal? Interesting. Not beneficial, yet it achieved something like graduating. In my case, my parents beating me for not getting good grades. That was, you have this pain and pleasure. Pleasure's like, I graduated. Pain's like, no, don't hit me. So that's just kind of those things. You figure out what your pain and pleasures are, right? As in Asian culture, you're Asian, not Bayesian. You get A's, not B's. I mean, that's just the way it is. But you can teach that at an ongoing age. You teach it very young. We teach our kids, like, you got a 91? What? But inside I'm like, that's not too bad, but you can't show that, right? But hopefully my kids aren't listening because they are in the corner, but but that's just something you gotta do, right? So some of you have to condition your mind. It's time to get to work, guys. It is time to get to work. The only other way to make a lot of money like we did and all the successful people in Empower is win the lottery. And if that's your method, congratulations, go at it. I personally like to engineer my success, right? I'm a retired engineer, retired at the age of 33. I retired my lovely wife, sitting over there. One day I will pull her on stage, but until then, she'll be in the shadows. She is the mastermind over there. I retired her from accounting, and I've been a stay-at-home dad full-time because that was my passion. I don't want to be told when I have to go to work. I don't want to be told, you're only worth $60,000 a year. I don't care how many hours you work, you're working to keep your job. That's painful, guys. I don't know about you, but someone tell me what I'm worth? I'm like, who told you what I'm worth? No, I'm gonna tell you what I'm worth, right? And we can do that here because the income potential is through the roof. There is no actual limit. There is no limit. You can go to a salary website and look at how much people make in Empower Network, and you'll see people do like 100, 150, 200,000 a month. How is that possible? That does not make sense, right? But it also doesn't make sense that so many people love Mickey Mouse. He's a rat. But it's what your mind, the perception, right? It's the perception of what it is. And we need to get you guys focused, because even if I gave you the keys to my system and how I built my 7-figure income in Empower Network, if your brain tells you it's too hard, it's too complicated, I don't like to read, I don't like to type, you will give you an excuse. You will tell yourself an excuse not to work. So we have to get past that. So do I have permission that you will get to work tonight, at the break, tomorrow, every single day, because this is your business? Do I have permission to tell you that you deserve to make some money in this business? I have permission? So if I give you an exact process of what I'm doing and what you should be looking at and focusing on, and maybe it'll open your ideas like, man, it's not that hard. It's actually pretty easy. Then we can have some real change in this world, that you, instead of being an employee, you can be an employer. Think about that. You can help give jobs, right? Here we go. Increase your productivity without being techie. Who here is not techie? Cool, so then I'm speaking to you. If you're techie, you should be able to do this with your left hand, watching TV and rocking a baby, okay? Maybe not, maybe so, we'll see how that goes, right? So here's what tools are of today. Back in the day, tools were like hammers, abacuses, slide rules, a pencil and a paper. Who uses pencil and paper, right? Well, you should, right? Certain tools achieve certain things. iPhones, Androids, computers. This is the age we live in. You can be the person who wants to use the tools, or you can be the tool of someone else, right? It's called, payroll. It's called hiring someone to do something. It's called outsourcing. But I want to focus on this because we have this now, right? I would say 99% of you have a smartphone or a computer. You can build your business today. So that being the case, this is not the hurdle. You're here, you probably have a computer. You can work at the library if you wanted to. You can write your articles, you can do your keyword research, you can do all of that. So technology is not the issue, right? So, but I see people doing this. So I was thinking about this, my wife was making dinner. I'm like, I'm gonna go outside with some scissors. She's like, what the heck are you doing? I said, but this is what I see online. People are trying to reinvent the wheel. People are using tools that are just not 2015 approved. Live viewers, are you doing this? And if you are, just put it down. Just put it down. No one sees you. Just put the scissors down. You're using the wrong tool, right? You're using the wrong tool. We gotta use the right tools. If not, you will become the human tool, hand-powered, right? You actually want something like this. Like, what is better? Technology has evolved, right? If you have a big freaking lawn, why are you hand curating it? Unless you love it. Some of you love it. That's your passion, go do it. But if your objective is just to make some money, pay for college, retire your spouse, retire yourself, I retired at 33. No one believes me until I tell them, like, I'm never at work. And then my neighbors are like, why are you never at work? I was like, well, my kids, it's my work. I'm a full-time dad and I run side businesses, right? And one of them pays me very well because I use the tool. Who here designs cars? No engineers that design cars? But who here has a car? What? Get out of here. What? So you're telling me you actually interact with a tool that you have no clue how it works? Huh, interesting. So if that makes sense, then why are you trying to recreate the wheel when we have something here you can plug into and just drive traffic, build an audience, generate leads, and make some money? You guys don't like money? Who doesn't like money, right? Right? And if you don't, some of you, there's probably 5% of you who are like, money's gross. Like, that's okay. You need to read some books. You need to get more of this. We need to see you at the next event. Money is energy, and that energy can be transformed to many different things, wonderful things, but we got to get you using the right tools, because here are the three phases, okay? You create, you develop, and you build it, right? You use current technology, and focus on building it versus, you want to be the operator. You want to be the operator, right? I think one of my slides fell off. You have the person who wants to build everything, right? Now, some of you feel like I have to recreate everything. I have to make my own blog. I need to make my own capture page. I need to go from the ground up. I need to hard code it. That's fine. But I say, if you're not good at marketing, you can't drive traffic yet, you need to focus on being an operator. Everyone here just told me you don't build cars, right? Maybe you remodel, but majority of you do not build Ford, GMC, Lexus, Tesla. None of y'all build it, but y'all operate it. How novel is that? You actually use the technology of today to do the things you want, because you're not really worried about how it runs, but that it runs, right? So you want to be an operator. The third phase is someone who just outsources everything. So that's the next phase. But how can you outsource if you don't even know how it operates? How can I teach my kids how to drive if I don't know how to drive? I probably have to outsource that. Go, maybe have my wife teach them, or I teach them. But you first got to learn how to operate systems. Not to say it'll be forever, right? And then you figure out the things you really just dislike doing. Like, maybe you don't like writing articles. Maybe you don't like shooting videos. Maybe you don't like writing your copywriting. You can hire someone, which means you are a benefit to society because you are giving jobs. You understand that? You're not sucking it, you're giving back, right? So I say, if you're brand new, you haven't made your first 10,000 in our industry of internet marketing, advertising, right? Direct response, be an operator. Be really good at an operator. Operator, all you do is you interact with the tools that work and you make it work, right? Focus on efficient use of current tools of today. Be a great operator. Until you made your first 10K, don't try to make everything, recreate everything. We have tools in place that kind of help you move you along, right? So I say this all the time to our kids, my wife, use the tools, don't be the tool. I tell this to my team all the time, use the tools, don't be a tool. The majority of the business tools that we're using today, blogs, social media, how we drive traffic, capture pages, autoresponders, is not necessary to learn how to code. It's more necessary, how do you use it in your daily functions of operation, right? So the basic tools you'll need for your online business, you need a capture page system, right? This generates leads. Any business who wants success, and from now until forever, I believe, you will need leads. These are people who are potentially looking to buy from you. They haven't bought yet, but looking potentially, because sometimes it takes multiple exposures, right? You gotta get a point where I wanna drive traffic, I wanna shoot a video, I'm gonna write an article that will get me to a point where I can generate leads. But that means you have to think about, okay, what do I need? You need a capture page. So be okay with that. And they call it a landing page or a squeeze page, but essentially you're generating emails to build an email list. You could be a car dealer, you can be a real estate agent, you can be in insurance, you can be in a restaurant business, you can be in the health business, you can be a life coach. You want to generate leads every single day. Starts with a capture page, but that capture page then is connected to an email autoresponder. Right? I still today see people emailing me from AOL, from their address book, and just mass spamming people. I just joined this business, this is fantastic. No, that's not how business works today. You will get your email burned. Gmail will slap you, AOL will slap you, Yahoo email will slap you. Use an email autoresponder. Basically what this is it's an ability to send recorded or pre-written emails in the future. Like, didn't we just get past the anniversary of Back to the Future? Right? And we don't have, self-tying shoes yet. But we have autoresponders. 30 years ago, they're like, what? It's an autoresponder. It will automate your business, right? So if you came to this event, and let's say you had 30 leads, you should be able to send broadcasts scheduled so that I'm here, I can have a meal, I can go on a roller coaster, my email goes out, I make money. How awesome is that, right? I cut my last piece off. You gotta be able to have a blog, right? Because people today, they need more information. They're researching you. They wanna know more about you. They wanna know, are you legit or are you serious? And this is where Klaatu Premium comes in. I mean, you got all these things. We have training, we have plugins, we have themes. You can have up to 10 blogs of you're building niches, of your consultant, you can do that. So if you're thinking about building a business on the internet, Klaatu Premium is where you wanna get it at because it's all there, right? So a lot of you are doing this, don't do this. Putting a square peg into a circle, to a hole, right? It's not gonna work. Spend more time in operating systems, refine your niche, find your niche, speak the language. Prospects will turn into customers.